So it's been almost a year since we started collaborating, and I'd like to know what was the impact of adding Waydev to NowCom.
There was a huge impact. And what we initially, when we started with the Wade, the thought was, we have so many teams across different countries, right? We wanted to understand how things are progressing in each of those teams in each of those countries, right? But that's what we started with. But then eventually we got to like, okay, how much is the output of each country? Where the uh, roadblocks are, right? And we can actually incentivize our managers and our team leads, right, to eliminate those roadblocks and actually kind of keep those guys moving forward. Because usually what happens is when you have in the US team, we wear so many different hats. We want to talk to customers, we want to actually work with the engineering team, and in that process what happens is some of the training and the effectiveness of the people who are there in other countries, that reduces, right? So Vaibhav actually brought that up. It surfaced those issues, and it helped us to resolve some of those issues. So it was a huge
Awesome.
impact for sure.
I'd also like to know how was it before working with Waydev and how is it now?
The thing is, before Veda, we did not have any visibility in what is going on. We would hold weekly meetings, right, with the teams, and we would have an agenda of what we want to cover. We want to find out like what kind of roadblocks that they're facing, whether they understand what the requirements are, where we are coming from, so on and so forth, right? But on a weekly basis, it used to be difficult to make sure that we are headed in the right direction because we had so many things to accomplish. But with Vadev, I'm able to take a look at the reports on a daily basis and see, okay, you know what, this was an important feature that this team is working on, and they are not moving at the pace that I expect them to move. I'm not seeing commits, and I actually go and educate my sales manager, sorry, my development managers that look at this. If we are going to release this feature by this particular point in time, then we are not headed in at the pace that we would expect it to, and then we would jump in on an as needed basis, right, to clear those hurdles and get the teams moving to a successful delivery. We used to find that out a little later than what we would want to find, than the time that we would want to really get that. But with Vaidef, we are able to get that right away.
You've also tested other products in the market. Why did you choose Waydev?
Yes, so there were a couple of other products that were out there in the market, and we looked at all of them. But the number of statistics and the pace at which you guys were implementing those statistics definitely outpaced all the others. So that's the reason why we chose Vadev, right? And the licensing and everything that also worked in our favor. So that's the reason for choosing Vadev.
Would you like to add anything else?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've looked at you have a really good development summary, the team summary, all of those things are fantastic, right? Now, again, like as we are growing as a company, my responsibilities are increasing, and also the responsibilities of our development managers, leads, and all the developers down the line. Everything is increasing, right? So, rather than up until this point, what I would do is I would actually go ahead and look at Vadev reports on a daily basis. But what I really want is something interrupting me, right? So where I can actually go ahead and say that, hey, look, this is what I'm looking for. This is the kind of behavior that I'm looking for, and I want to be notified, saying that, hey, this is look, this kind of behavior that you're looking for has been observed in this team or that team, right? And so on. So then I can jump in. I can actually go ahead and correct that behavior and take the company to success, right?
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
basically, like Vadev doing the monitoring that I need to do, right? But then alerting me at the right point. So that's the reason why a few days back I reached out to Alex, and I was trying your um, alerts. I believe that's a new feature, or targets. So targets, I wanted to try the targets out. I would expect you guys to do a lot more development on the targets, right? Where you can add a lot more metrics, and I can configure those metrics, and I would expect the system to notify me on a regular basis that look, this team is actually faltering versus this team is doing really well, so on and so forth. But the reports that you guys have produced, right, they're very effective, they're very helpful when it comes to reviewing all the employees, giving them really good feedback. So the quarterly reviews, the yearly reviews, right, we can actually work with them, we can show them real numbers, and we can drive their behavior towards achieving better goals in the future.
We're continuously improving our targets feature. We plan to add templates to be able to create everything automatically and notified really easily. And I also have another question for you. How are the managers using Waydev? What do they think about it?
So they've been using. So there are a couple of reports that I've asked managers to look at. The development summary report, right? The dashboard on their teams, right? And to monitor all the commits that are happening, right? And to see whether the commits are progressing the projects in the right direction. We also use, I forget the name of the report, um, for the stand-ups, the daily log report, right? So that is something that is being used on a stand is being used during stand-ups, right? So the managers and the leads are much more educated, they know the product better than some of the developers that we have, right? So what they do is in the stand-up, when a developer is telling them that if this is what they did yesterday and this is what they're doing today, they can quickly take a look at the commits that they have made, right? And then if they see issues with those commits, then they can guide them in the right direction so that they avoid some of the common mistakes that people make, right? And help deliver the project on time.
What do you expect from Waydev in the future?
Oh, for sure. So like I said, right, I mean, so far, like when we are managing our software development teams using the reports that Waydev provides, it's fantastic, and I want to continue to do that. It's just that the time is of essence, and the targets feature is something that I'm really interested in, and where Waydev can notify me rather than me looking at Waydev and on a daily basis and finding out what's going on, right? So if I'm seeing certain things which I definitely want to turn, then I can set up some targets for some of these guys, and and then they can and the system can monitor them on those targets and let me know, right? So this is what happens usually when you have your quarterly reviews or when you have your yearly reviews. What we do is we go ahead and set up some targets for the developers, right, based on what their performance was in the previous year or in the previous quarter, right? And then tell them that, hey, look, this is where we see an issue, or these are the places where you're doing fantastic, right? Keep doing that, but this is an area of improvement, right? So if there was a Waydev target, right, which is available to both the manager as well as the team member, right, then what could happen is then we could set that target right there during the review, saying that, okay, I want you to just to give you an example, that I want you to write more quality code. So I want to see X% less comments, right, on your code when the code review is going on, right? Right now, the comments that you're getting and the amount of time that you're churning is close to 60%, right? Let's set a target that you reduce that in the next 3 months to, let's say, 40%, right? An accomplishable target, right? But if that target is set, then the developer can go ahead and work towards that, monitor his performance on Waydev on a daily basis, whether he's about to hit the target, whether he's going to miss that target, what does he need to do in order to reach that goal, right? And for the management, right, it also keeps on updating that, look, this employee is actually working on his target, he is delivering what was expected of him, and or versus he's not delivering, and it's just not a match.
Exactly, and this is great feedback for us. We've added the targets feature, which is already working that way with email and the live chat notifications, but we also plan to add the templates.
Yeah, so the visibility into the target for the developer for whom we are setting the target is also important, right? Or the team that we are setting the target to. So that way the developer or the team, they can monitor that, and they can adjust their performance to reach that target, right? They get to see that on a daily basis and they see, okay, you know what, management has set me this target and let me go ahead and do X, Y, and Z in order to reach that target. So the visibility to both the developer as well as the manager is I think is important.
That's right. Thank you for joining us today, Vaibhav.